Private property. What is private property? What does it mean to have property that is privately yours or publicly yours, but it's your private property? We're talking house, land, currency, your money, your wages. How about your body? Is that private property? Well, I just want to ask a few questions, say a few things that I've found, and just get people thinking. So, if you think it through, if you have money in the bank or funds in the bank, you're paying a tax on that money, on those funds, because they want an average nowadays of 2% inflation yearly. Okay? Sometimes it's 3, and nowadays we're closer to 7. It's according to their numbers, the CPI. But really, realistically, you and I know it's closer to the 15, 20%. Anyways, that's a different topic for a different story. So, if you have 2 to 3% inflation, you have your money in the bank, and you're getting a fraction of a cent interest back. What's happening? You're holding funds in the bank. You're getting a lot less back, if anything, from the bank, the entity, than it is losing value. So you're really paying tax on a savings account that's losing real value. That's what's happening. So I know I've talked about this before, but why would anyone say I want to hold these digits or this cash if every year, every month, every week, every day it consistently loses purchasing power, loses money. I lose my private purchasing power that I had. So there's that. How about permits? Permits are just paying for permission. So you own land. Now they want you to pull a permit sometimes to have a fire. Pull a permit to add onto your house. Pull a permit to build a deck. Pull a permit to build a garage. Whatever. They want you to pull a permit. So you have to pay for permission to do something on your private property. I know I've been over this before, but what is private property then? How about your speech? How about your thoughts? That kind of stuff. Do you have freedom? Do you have rights to your private thoughts, to your private words? Maybe that you've made them public, but they are yours. They are yours. Is there going to be a time, and there might be right now in America and other countries, where that's not acceptable? You don't own the right to say or think what you want to do at any time and every time. So now you're paying all these taxes for all the funds that are stolen, that are stolen from you, that goes to many, many, many things that people don't agree with. Whether you believe in the left-right paradigm, the red versus blue, R versus D, if you believe that, well, then you're still paying for stuff that the D's want, or paying for stuff that the R's want, and you don't agree with it. Or if you don't buy into that, which I'm a firm believer not buying into that, it's two wings, same bird. Still, it's government, and you're paying for a whole bunch of stuff you don't back, you don't want, actually you want not to exist. That fast forwards to what's going on nowadays with all this infiltration of rights, all this taking over rights. But anyways, I'll list a few things here. For examples, we have wars, all the wars. That's covered by the money that was stolen from us, the theft that they call taxes. We have the world policing all over the world. Why are you paying for some sort of American thing here in China, or an American thing here in Russia, or an American thing here in Iran, or vice versa? Why are you paying for that? So on and so forth. How about abortions? If you don't agree with that, you don't want any part of that, why are you paying for it? Why do you have to pay for it? How about, I'll just got some numbers here, 120 million in retirement and disability benefits to federal employees who have died. So yearly, they pay $120 million in retirement and disability benefits to federal employees who have died. Well, how can they benefit from that if they've died? Well, they're the people that they deem welcome to it, whether that's family members or whatever. That's just, it gets paid out. That's just what happens. We got $100,000 for a celebrity chef show in Indonesia called Sim Sim Humara. We paid for that from our tax dollars, U.S. tax dollars, paid for that. How about synchronized swimming for sea monkeys? That was $307,524, I believe. Then we have the funding of climate change alarmist videos. So they did a video, an alarmist video, because of climate change, that kind of stuff. That was $5.2 million that we paid for. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you are fully against it or not, you pay for it. And it goes on that same level. They spent a whole bunch of money on a video game. I don't have the number that they spent here, but it was climate change is dead, last on the American list of priorities. So the NSF felt the need to help spur climate change activists. They paid Columbia universities to develop a game entitled Future Coast, where rising sea levels cause mass chaos and weather calamities of epic proportions. The story is set to a bunch of voicemails from the future describing the anarchy. This is the video game that they put a lot of our funds to also. There's how about the loss of electronic devices? By NASA alone, $1.1 million. Just lost electronic devices. And you add on to that the other agencies, the other entities of the government. How much has been lost or wasted there? It's amazing. How about the list? The list of all the senators, congressmen, presidents, that kind of stuff, who do not pay gas. Because as long as you're in D.C., you get free gas on site. What's with that? Why? There's no discrepancy there. They could fill up, they could blaze across a few states, and they could fill up jerry cans also, bring them with. I don't think they do that because that's lower than them. I mean, that'd be them, doing stuff lower than their level of what they see themselves at as these high-powered, they call them lawmakers, which they're just our servants, they're our employees. But anyways, I mean, this list is just endless. So that was our tax dollars, our wages, the money we have, and through inflation, it's just taken every second, really. And that goes to what? We have no power over it. We have no control over it. But that is our private property, because that was our wages, that was our work, it was our blood, sweat, and tears to get that, but it's taken from us, even though it's our private property. That goes along with, the whole house, the land, the private property being your body. Is your body your private property? If so, why are you forced to put something on your face? If so, why are you forced to inject liquid in you that's a product from a private company? So is your body really private? Or does it need to turn around and look that way and be that way again? Because the slope that we're on, it's not slippery, it's fast. I mean, it's blazing. So I just want to say, I mean, there was a time, even on the war note, where citizens paid war bonds for the war, most of it, majority of it, and that stopped way back after Nixon took us off the gold standard in 1971 completely. Then there was no holds barred. There was no looking back. So that just compounded all the stuff they do and they take from us to do whatever they want with for themselves and their cronies. Anyways, this is just a rude and crude thing, just asking the question on what is private property. Are you allowed to have private property? Just something to think about. But thank you for watching. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and as always, stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and protect your wealth.